Nia Jax. Really? Really, Triple H? Really? That's the best you could come up with. Welcome back, everyone, to another review. And obviously, by the tone of my voice, you can tell I'm not very happy. Seriously. Here's the thing. Apparently, we're at the end of the McMahon era, because I heard something about Vince McMahon being gone. I'm going to have to listen to Tom Colohue about that, but apparently Vince is gone. Done. Finished. No longer with WWE. That's what they were saying. He's officially gone. I don't buy it. But at the same time, I'm kind of hoping it is true, because I would rather see something new. I was really hoping WWE would improve if Vince was gone, and how was I wrong? I'm not like most girls. Nia Jax comes back, and apparently she's got new music. Apparently. Because on the digital exclusive, they had different music playing for her. But yeah, she came back, costing Raquel the title. Rhea would then go on to retain with the Riptide, and then Nia would attack her after. Nia would then attack Rhea afterwards and lay her out with the Bonsai Drop. So Nia is pretty much making her claim to the Women's World Championship. Because of course, gotta need more of those Anoa'i people on top, right? Gonna need more of those Samoans challenging for titles, huh? Not enough with Roman, huh? But as for the rest of the show, I can't say I really cared. Kevin Owens teamed with Jay to take on the Judgment Day, with Judgment Day ended up winning because Uso super kicked Owens during the match. The Miz defeated Akira Tozawa. Imperium had their championship celebration for Gunther because he broke the record. Chad came out, and then an all-out brawl happened later after a back and forth exchange. So the feud between Chad and Gunther isn't over, which I'm happy about, because I think Chad should definitely be the one to take down Gunther. If it's not Sheamus, it has to be Chad. Tommaso even saved him afterwards. Tommaso even saved Chad and Otis afterwards. Drew and Sheamus had a match. Drew won with the Claymore, which is definitely leading down to Drew McIntyre's eventual heel turn. No Matt Riddle. Good riddance. Because apparently something happened to him. I'm not going to mention it, because apparently something happened, and all I'm going to say is good riddance. Nakamura continued to play mind games. He continued to play mind games with Seth Rollins. Cody Rhodes came back for the first time, made his first appearance on Raw in like 2 weeks, to come back and make an announcement of some sort, and then he gets interrupted by Dirty Dom and JD McDouchebag, and Cody Rhodes cleans them both out. Man, imagine being a Cody Rhodes fan. Imagine being a fan of Cody Rhodes, just waiting to hear what Cody Rhodes had to say, and just to sit through the entire show and just get that. Man, that'd be really disappointing. We had Shayna Baszler taking on Chelsea Cringe. Piper Niven is back. Okay. So, what was the point of last week then? Thought they said Piper was injured. Weird. But whatever. Weird, but whatever. Shayna won. She delivered Ronda Rousey's Piper's Pit. And the thing that I'm getting very, very, very fed up with is A, WWE constantly mentioning Shayna Baszler ran Ronda Rousey out of WWE, and B, having Shayna Baszler win with Ronda Rousey's moves. And the fact that WWE continuously mention Ronda Rousey makes me think she's not legitimately gone and she's gonna come back eventually. If she's gone, she's gone. We don't need to be mentioned about it anymore. How many more weeks are we going to be told Shayna Baszler ran Ronda Rousey out of WWE? If she's out of WWE, she's out of WWE. Stop mentioning her. So it's making me think Ronda Rousey isn't legitimately gone. She's just taking a break and she's going to come back. The more they mention her, the more I think Ronda is going to come back. Seth came out. He challenged Shinsuke. Seth was in his ring gear. It made me think he was going to have a match, but... I mean, what's the point of putting ring gear on if you weren't going to have a match? Whatever. Shinsuke then attacked Ricochet backstage, continuing to play mind games with him. We had Ciampa and the Alpha Academy take on Imperium in a really good tag match. That ended with Chad Gable forcing Giovanni Vinci to tap out to the ankle lock. And now we're going to get to the parts that I'm mainly going to ramble about, and I hope you're all ready for Rambling Patrick to ramble and rant. First off, we have Becky Lynch challenging Tiffany Stratton for the NXT Women's Championship tomorrow. Why beyond my why? No idea. All because Tiffany Stratton made fun of Becky Lynch because she's not a former NXT Women's Champion. Or mistakenly called her a former NXT Women's Champion. The fickleness of this company makes me laugh. The fickleness of WWE just makes me laugh. And the reason why I say they're fickle is because the point of NXT 2.0, even though it's not called NXT 2.0 anymore, it's still technically NXT 2.0, it's just not called that anymore. The point of NXT 2.0, the point of the rebranding of NXT, and yes, this is the whole point of it, don't lie, it is the whole point of it. The whole point of the rebranding of NXT was to help develop the next generation of superstars, to build up the future, to help to build up the future of WWE, the superstars that are going to be around for the next 10, 20 or so years, like Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, Tiffany, Blair, Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, who else? Duke Hudson, Andre Chase, Wesley, and so on and so forth. Just to name a few. Even Grayson Waller when he was down in NXT. That was the point, right? That was the point of NXT 2.0, to help create the next generation of superstars for the fans to look forward to for the next 10, 20 years. And even guys like Bron Breakker as well. So imagine that being the point of NXT, but you send main roster people to go down to NXT, like a Dirty Dom, and even the rest of the Judgment Day, like Rhea and Finn and Damien. And you have Dirty Dom and Wes Lee's historic title reign. Really? Dirty Dom? Have him and Wes Lee's incredible run as NXT North American Champion? Why does that make any sense? And also, If this NXT is supposed to help develop the future, why did Dolph Ziggler become NXT champion? If this is supposed to help the future of NXT, if this is supposed to be the future, why is Dirty Dom carrying around one of their titles? When they did this, when they did this with Solo Sikoa, they immediately took the title off him. When he went down to NXT, won the North American title, Shawn Michaels said, because you're on the main roster, you're not allowed to have our title. And they immediately took it off Solo. Why aren't they doing that with Dirty Dom? Oh, because it's different. They immediately took the title off Solo when he got called up. But no, they're not going to do anything about it with Dominic. You also had women like Natalya go down to NXT, work with Taeyong Paxley and Cora Jade. Which, by the way, she beat them both. Natalya beat them both. You had AJ Styles work with Grayson Waller. AJ Styles beat him. You had Dolph Ziggler, like I said before. He went down to NXT, beat Bron Breakker for the NXT title. You got bloody Dana Brooke going down to NXT, beating Cora Jade. How does this develop the future? How does this help them? How does this help these future NXT stars? And now we've got Becky Lynch going down, challenging Tiffany Stratton, and she's most likely going to beat Tiffany tomorrow. Again, how does this help the future of NXT? How does this help them? Oh, they're doing it to pop a rating. That's the reason why they're doing it, Patrick. It's all for ratings. Yeah, well, as what Wade Barrett would say, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. I don't give a shit about ratings. Look what happened with AEW when they brought back CM Punk and they used him as the main guy for Collision. They used him as the main attraction for Collision, and their ratings barely improved. Their ratings barely improved because they focused on one person. They expected one person to carry the entire show. And that's what NXT is doing. They're relying on people like Becky, Seth, Dolph, Judgment Day. They're relying on people from other brands to carry another show. It's pointless. It's stupid. And when NXT get good ratings, people think Shawn Michaels is a genius. How is he a genius when he can't even build up his own stars? It basically tells me that he has no faith in the talent he has. It tells me he's got no faith in them. It tells me he has no faith in the talent that he has to help build interest in NXT. So now they're going to have Becky Lynch possibly win the title tomorrow, and now Becky Lynch is going to be NXT Women's Champion. For what reason? Just for the sake of a goddamn title called Grand Slam. Just so that she can be a Grand Slam champion. That's the only reason they're giving her the belt, and they're also giving it to her for the sake of ratings in NXT. And you know I love Becky. You know I love Becky. You know I'm the biggest Becky fan in the world. But it's downright stupid just to have her beat Tiffany Stratton. And I'm not the biggest fan of Tiffany. I'm not the biggest fan of Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany needs to win. Hell, just have her win by DQ. Have her get herself disqualified. I just don't get it. And more importantly, people on social media eat this up. And people on social media eat this up. Like, they're happy to see these main roster people in NXT. They eat this up. So, of course, Shawn Michaels is like, okay, the internet likes it. So the people on the internet like it. So we're going to keep doing it. It's pathetic. If you want Becky Lynch to feud with people like Roxanne and Blair Davenport and Lara Valkyrie, and Cora Jade and all these other people, Gigi, JC, if you want her to feud with these people, then these people should be going to her on the main roster instead of her going to them. This doesn't help them. This doesn't help them at all. It doesn't help the future. WWE are showing their fickle side. Their absolute fickle side. They're showing their fickle side by saying NXT 2.0 is all about the future, but we're going to have main roster people take their titles. And now finally, the main event. Rhea and Raquel for the Women's World title. And as you guys heard me say at the start of this review, yes, this decent match, I will give it a decent, this decent match ends with Nia Jax returning to cost Raquel the title. Rhea retains with the Riptide, and then Nia attacks Rhea after the match. Why Nia Jax is beyond me. Why are we bringing back Nia Jax now is beyond me. And I guarantee you, and I can guarantee you, because this was Vince McMahon's last night on the job in WWE, I guarantee you everyone is going to point the finger at Vince. Oh, it was all Vince's idea. It's all him. It's got Vince McMahon's handprints all over it. Instead of blaming it on Triple H, the guy who actually does run things now. So now we're going to be getting potentially a triple threat between Rhea, Nia, and Raquel, or just Raquel versus Nia, or just Nia versus Rhea. Great! Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. And I mean that in a sarcastic way. Well, I'm not going to ramble too much about Rhea and Nia, because I've wasted enough time on here. I don't need to ramble on too long. All I will say is about Rhea is that her and Raquel had a pretty decent match. It was definitely the most competitive match I've seen in a while. And I also love how fans are fickle towards Rhea, saying that she needs to be a dominant champion, but when she squashes her opponents, fans complain. And when she's not, and then they don't want her involved with the men. She's not involved with the men. They complain. They complain when she's involved with the men. Now she's no longer competing along, doing stuff with the men. And they also want her to have a competitive match. And then they complain when she does have competitive matches. And now we've got Nia Jax. And now we've got Nia Jax coming back. They have a great women's division. WWE have a really good women's division like Emma, Candice, Tegan, Indy, so on and so forth. But no, they would rather use people that fans don't care about. Like, they have such a great roster, and they could easily use Emma and all the others. But Emma and all the others are most likely just going to be fed to Nia Jax to build her up to eventually challenge Rhea Ripley for the title. And I tell you this, if Nia Jax is the one to defeat Rhea Ripley, I will be very upset. I will be very upset. So that is going to be the end of this review, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up. Give me your thoughts down below. And I will see you all next time.